back from taking a week break. I decided to do that because I just really wanted to get a break and not worry about, um, you know, views and just read the Bible. Right now we are going to read Genesis 31 and 32. I am going to start now, actually. Sorry. Alright, I'm going to read now. Alright. Jacob flees from Jacob flees from Laban. Now Jacob heard the words of Laban's son, saying, Jacob has taken away all that was our father's, and from what was our father's he has acquired all this wealth. And Jacob saw the countenance of Laban, and indeed it was not favorable toward him as before. Then the Lord said to Jacob, Return to the land of your fathers and to your family, and I will be with you. So Jacob went and called Rachel and Leah to the field to this flock, and said to them, I see your father's countenance, that it is not favorable toward me as before, but the Lord God of my father has been with me. And you know that with all my might I have served your father, yet your father has deceived me and changed my wages 10 times. But God did not allow him to hurt me. If he said thus, the speckled shall be your wages, then all the flocks bore speckled. And if he said thus, the strict shall be your wages, and all the flocks bore strict. So God has taken away the livestock of your father and given them to me. Name a car for an edit. Ooh. Let's do. What would be a cool car? Ooh, this is hard. How about I don't know what the name of the car is. It's how about a 1960s Mustang? 1960s. Go for the 1960s Mustang, if that is a thing. I gotta make this thing go up. Hey, what's up? I am reading the Bible right now. Alright. Alright, here we go. And it happened at that time when the flocks conceived that I lifted my eyes and saw in the dream, and behold, the rams which leaped upon the flocks were strict, speckled, and gray spotted. Then the angel of God spoke to me in the dream, saying, Jacob. And I said, Here I am. And he said, Lift your eyes now and see. All the rams which leap on the flocks are strict, speckled, and gray spotted. For I have seen all that Laban is doing to you. I am the God of Bethel, where you anointed the pillar, and where you made a vow to me. I'm doing pretty well. Now arise, get out of this land, and return to the land of your family. Then Rachel and Leah answered and said to him, Is there still any portion or inheritance for us in our father's house? Are we not considered strangers by him? For he has sold us, and also completely consumed all our money. For all these riches which God has taken from our father are really ours, and our children's. Now then, whatever God has said to you, do it. Hey, bro. Then Jacob rose and set his sons and his wives on camels, and he carried away all his livestock and all his possessions which he had gained, his acquired livestock which he had gained in Padan Aram, to go to his father Isaac in the land of Canaan. Now Laban had gone to shear his sheep, and Rachel had stolen the household idols that were her father's. And Jacob stole away unknown to Laban the Syrian, in that he did not tell him that he intended to flee. So he fled with all that he had. He arose and crossed over the river and headed toward the mountains of Gilead. Right now I'm reading in Genesis, for those wondering. Alright. Laban pursues Jacob. And Laban was told on the third day that Jacob had fled. Then he took his brethren with him and pursued him for 7 days' journey, and he overtook him in the mountains of Gilead. But God had come to Laban the Syrian in a dream by night, and said to him, Be careful that you speak to Jacob neither good nor bad. So Laban overtook Jacob. Now Jacob had pitched his tent in the mountains, and Laban with his brethren pitched in the mountains of Gilead. And Laban said to Jacob, What have you done that you have stolen away unknown to me, and carried away my daughters like captives taken with the sword? Why did you flee away secretly and steal away from me and not tell me? For I might have sent you away with joy and songs, with timbrel and harp. And you did not allow me to kiss my sons and my daughters. Now you have done foolishly in so doing. It is in my power to do you harm. But the God of your father spoke to me last night, saying, Be careful that you speak to Jacob neither good nor bad. And now you have surely gone because you greatly long for your father's house. But why did you steal my gods? Then Jacob answered and said to Laban, Because I was afraid. For I said, Perhaps he would take your daughters from me by force. With whomever you find your gods, do not let him live. In the presence of your brethren, identify what I have of yours, and take it with you. For Jacob did not know that Rachel had stolen them. And Laban went into Jacob's tent, and to Leah's tent, and into the maids' tents, but he did not find them. Then he went out of Leah's tent and entered Rachel's tent. Now Rachel had taken the household idols, put them in the camel's saddle, and sat on them. And Laban searched all about the tent, but did not find them. And she said to her father, Let it not displease my lord that I cannot rise before you, for the manner of women is with me. And he searched, but did not find the household idols. Then Jacob was angry and rebuked Laban. And Jacob answered and said to Laban, What is my trespass? What is my sin? What have you so hotly pursued me? Although you have searched all my things, that what part of your household things have you found? Set it here before my brethren and your brethren, that they may judge between us both. These 20 years I have been with you. Your ewes and your female goats have not miscarried their young, and I have not eaten the rams of your flock. That which was torn by beasts I did not bring to you. I bore the loss of it. You required it from my hand, whether stolen by day or stolen by night. There I was. In the day the drought consumed me, and the frost by night, and my sleep departed from my eyes. Thus I have been in your house 20 years. I served you 14 years for your flock, and you have changed my wages 10 times. Unless the God of my father, the God of Abraham, and the fear of Isaac had been with me, surely now you would have sent me away empty-handed. God has seen my affliction and the labor of my hands, and rebuked your last night. Laban's covenant with Jacob. I like to read, bro. And I like to read the word on live. You can always check my description to know more about my channel. I'm mostly here to read the word. I'm not here to like interpret the Bible, but I kind of do that sometimes, but I don't do as well. I do. How to explain? I don't know a lot of stuff. I'm not a pastor. I'm just here to read the word. I would say stick to the word. All right, where am I? I lost it. Oh yeah, right, I'm right here. And Laban answered and said to Jacob, "These daughters are my daughters, and these children are my children, and this flock is my flock. All that you see is mine. But what can I do this day to these? Sorry, what can I do this day to these my daughters, or to their children whom they have borne? Now therefore come, let us make a covenant, you and I, and let it be a witness between you and me." So Jacob took a stone and set it up as a pillar. Then Jacob said to his brethren, "Gather stones." And they took stones and made a heap, and they ate there on the heap. Laban called it Jagar Sahadutha, but Jacob called it Gilead. And Laban said, "This heap is a witness between you and me this day." Therefore its name was called Gilead, also Mizpah, because he said, "May the Lord watch between you and me when we are absent from one another. If you afflict my daughters, or if you take other wives besides my daughters, I thought no man is with us. See, God is witness between you and me." Then Laban said to Jacob, "Here is this heap, and here is this pillar, which I have placed between you and me. This heap is a witness, and this pillar is a witness, that I will not pass beyond this heap to you, and you will not pass beyond this heap to this pillar to me for harm. The God of Abraham, the God of Nahor, and the God of their father judge between us." And Jacob swore by the fear of his father Isaac. Then Jacob offered a sacrifice on the mountain, and called his brethren to eat bread. And they ate bread, and stayed all night on the mountain. And early in the morning Laban arose and kissed his sons and daughters, and blessed them. Then Laban departed and returned to his place. That was chapter 31. Chapter 32 now. This is where I'm at. Remember, alright, this is the part when he wrestles with God. Jacob, after Esau comes to meet Jacob and all that stuff. Esau comes to meet Jacob. I keep switching the titles all the time. Alright. So Jacob went on his way, and the angels of God met him. When Jacob saw them, he said, "This is God's camp." And he called the name of that place Mahanaim. Then Jacob sent messengers before him to Esau his brother in the land of Seir, the country of Edom. And he commanded them, saying, "Speak thus to my lord Esau. This your servant Jacob says, I have dwelt with Laban, and stayed there until now. I have oxen, donkeys, flocks, and male and female servants, and I have sent to tell my lord that I may find favor in your sight." Then the messengers returned to Jacob, saying, We came to see your brother Esau, and he also is coming to meet you, and 400 men are with him. So Jacob was greatly afraid and distressed, and he divided the people that were with him, and the flocks and herds and camels into two companies, and he said, If Esau comes to the one company and attacks it, then the other company which is left will escape. Then Jacob said, O God of my father Abraham and God of my father Isaac, the Lord who said to me, Return to your country and to your family, and I will deal with I will deal well with you. I am not worthy of the least of all the mercies and all the truth which you have shown your servant. For I have crossed over this Jordan with my staff, and now I have become two companies. Deliver me, I pray, from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esau. For I fear him, lest he come back and attack me and my mother with the children. For you said, I will surely treat you well, and make your descendants as the sand of the sea, which cannot be numbered for multitude. So he lodged there and that same night, and took what came to his hand as a present for Esau his brother, 200 female goats and 20 male goats, 200 ewes and 20 rams, 30 male camels with their goats, 40 cows and 10 bulls, 20 female donkeys and 10 foals. Then he delivered them to the hand of his servants. Every drove by itself, and said to his servants, Pass over before me, and put some distance between successive droves. And he commanded the first one, saying, When Esau my brother meets you and asks you, saying, To whom do you belong, and where are you going? Whose are these in front of you? Then you shall say, They are your servant Jacob's. It is a present sent to my lord Esau, and behold, he also is behind us. So he commanded the second, the second, the third, and all who followed the droves, and saying, In this manner you shall speak to Esau when you find him, and also say, Behold your servant Jacob is behind us, for he said, I will appease him with the present that goes before me, and afterward I will see his face. Perhaps he will accept me. So the present went on over before him, but he himself lodged that night in that camp. All right, here's the part when I think Jacob wrestles with God. Wrestling with God is the next paragraph. And he arose that night and took his 2 wives, his 2 female servants, and his 11 sons, and crossed over the ford of Jabbok. And he took them, sent them over to the brook, and sent them over what he had. Then Jacob was left alone, and a man wrestled with him until the breaking of day. Now when he saw that he did not prevail against him, he touched the sock of his hip, and the sock of Jacob's hip was out of joint as he wrestled with him. And he said, Let me go, for the day breaks. But he said, I will not let you go until you bless me. So he said to him, What is your name? He said, Jacob. And he said, Your name shall no longer be called Jacob, but Israel, for you have struggled with God and with men, and have prevailed. But Jacob asked, saying, Tell me your name, I pray. And he said, Why is that you ask about my name? And he blessed him there. So Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, for I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved. Just as he crossed over Peniel, the sun rose on him, and he limped on his hip. Therefore, to this day, the children of Israel did not eat the muscle that shrank, which is on the hip socket, because he touched the socket of Jacob's hip in the muscle that shrank. Basically, I was talking about when Jacob was wrestling with God and all that, and then God called Jacob's new name Israel and all that stuff. All right, now we're gonna go to Matthew. Matthew 15 and 16, and then the handpan time. Thanks, bro. Thanks for hopping in. Don't forget to like and subscribe too. And thanks for hopping in. All right, I'm gonna put a Q&A question. Oh, there's a new thing? Oh, never mind. I'm gonna start a Q&A question. What is your favorite book in What is your favorite book in the Bible? I have a lot of favorite books in the Bible. I would say the whole thing's good, but you know, I like Ecclesiastes, Psalms, John. Not John 1, but Book of John, the Baptizer, and all that stuff, and other books too. Is what also I like too. All right. Let's see. All right. Let's read now. I'm going to read Matthew 15. Defilement comes from within. Then the scribes and Pharisees who were from Jerusalem came to Jesus, saying, "Why do your disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? For they do not wash their hands when they eat bread." He answered and said to them, "Why do you also transgress the commandment of God because of your tradition? For God commanded, saying, 'Honor your father and your mother,' and he who curses father or mother, let him be put to death. But you say, whoever says to his father or mother, 'Whatever profit you might have received from me is a gift to God,' then he need not honor his father or mother. Thus you have made the commandment of God of no effect by your tradition. Hypocrites, well did Isaiah prophesy about you, saying, 'These people draw near to me with their mouth, and honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. And in vain they worship me, teaching as doctrines the commandments of men.'" Isaiah 6:8. Oh, I like Isaiah too. Isaiah talks about Jesus. And a lot of people think, no, it's not talking about Jesus, which literally it is. Isaiah 53. It wasn't talking about what was happening during the, or whatever. It wasn't talking about, never mind. I don't want to say it wrongly, so. Alright. When he had called the multitude to himself, he said to them, "Hear and understand. Not what goes into the mouth defiles a man, but what comes out of the mouth, this defiles a man." Then his disciples came and said to him, "Do you know that the Pharisees were offended when they heard this saying?" And he answered and said, "Every plant which my heavenly Father has not planted will be uprooted. Let them alone. Let them alone. They are blind leaders of the blind, and if the blind leads the blind, both will fall into a ditch." Thank you, bro. How do you say your name? Is it Jar... Janre? Sorry if I can't pronounce it. Alright, where am I? Oh yeah, then Peter answered and said to him, explain this parable to us. So Jesus said, are you also still without understanding? Do you not yet understand whatever enters the mouth goes into the stomach and is eliminated? But those things which proceed out of the mouth come from the heart, and that they defile a man. For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, fornications, thefts, false witness, blasphemies. These are the things which defile a man, but to eat with unwashed hands does not defile a man. Hey, Joan Ray. I'll call you Ray for short. A Gentile shows her faith. Jesus went out from there and departed to the region of Tyre and Sidon. And behold, a woman of Canaan came from that region and cried out to him, saying, have mercy on me, O Lord, Son of David. My daughter is severely demon possessed. But he answered her not a word. And his disciples came and urged him, saying, send her away, for she cries out after us. But he answered and said, I was not sent except to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And she came and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me. But he answered and said, it is not good to take the children's bread and throw it to the little dogs. And she said, yes, Lord, yet even the little dogs eat the crumbs which fall from their master's table. And Jesus answered and said to her, O woman, great is your faith, let it be done to you as you desire. And her daughter was healed from that very hour. Oops, that's way too low. I'm just trying to figure out, there we go, that should work. Alright. Hey, no intro needed. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Jesus heals great multitudes. Jesus departed from there, skirted the Sea of Galilee, went up to the mountain and sat down there. The great multitudes came to him, having with him the lame, the blind, mute, maimed, and many others, and they laid them down at Jesus' feet. And he healed them. So the multitude marveled when they saw the mute speaking, the maimed made whole, the lame walking, and the blind seeing, and they glorified the God of Israel. Feeding the 4,000. Now Jesus called his disciples to himself and said, I have compassion on the multitude, because they have now continued with me 3 days and have nothing to eat, and I do not want to send them away hungry, lest they faint on the way. And Jesus' disciples said to him, where could we get enough bread in the wilderness to fill such a great multitude? Jesus said to them, how many loaves do you have? And they said, 7, and a few little fish. So he commanded the multitude to sit down on the ground, and he took the 7 loaves and the fish, and gave thanks, broke them, and gave them to his disciples, and the disciples gave to the multitude. So they all ate and were filled. They were filled. And they took up 7 large baskets full of the fragments that were left. Now those who ate were 4,000 men, besides women and children. And he sent away the multitude, got into a boat, and came to the region of Magdala. Alright. The Pharisees and Sadducees seek a sign. Alright. This is going to be the last chapter. So if you're new here, like and subscribe. Chapter 16. Then the Pharisees and Sadducees came, and testing him asked that he would show them a sign from heaven. He answered and said to them, When it is evening, you say, it will be fair weather, for the sky is red, and in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and threatening. Hypocrites, you know how to discern the face of the sky, but you cannot discern the signs of the times. A wicked and adulterous generation seeks after a sign, and no sign shall be given to it except the sign of the prophet Jonah. And he left them and departed. Now the leaven of the Pharisees and Sadducees. Now when his disciples come to the other side, they had forgotten to take bread. Then Jesus said to them, Take heed and beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and the Sadducees. And they reasoned among themselves, saying, It is because we have taken no bread. But Jesus, being aware of it, said to them, O you of little faith, why do you reason among yourselves because ye have brought no bread? Do you not yet understand or remember the 5 loaves of the 5,000, and how many baskets did you take up? Not the 7 loaves of the 4,000, and how many large baskets you took up? How is it you do not understand? That I do not speak to you concerning the bread, but to beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and Sadducees. Then they understood that he did not tell them to beware of the leaven of bread, but of the doctrine of the Pharisees and Sadducees. Right. Peter confesses Jesus as the Christ. When Jesus came into the region of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, saying, Who do men say that I am? Who do men say that I, the Son of Man, am? So they said, Some say John the Baptist, some Elijah, some others, and others Jeremiah or one of the prophets. And he said to them, But who do you say that I am? Simon Peter answered and said, You are the Christ, the Son of the living God. Jesus answered and said to him, Blessed are you, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father who is in heaven. And I also say to you that you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades shall not prevail against it. And I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. Then he commanded his disciples that they should tell no one that he was Jesus the Christ. Jesus predicts his death and resurrection. From that time, Jesus began to show his disciples that he must go to Jerusalem and suffer many things from the elders and the chief priests and scribes, and be killed and be raised on the 3rd day. Then Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him, saying, Far be it from you, Lord, this shall not happen to you. But he returned and said to Peter, Get behind me, Satan, you are of offense to me, and for you are not mindful of the things of God, but the things of men. Take up the cross and follow him. Then Jesus said to his disciples, If anyone desires to come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whoever desires to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for my sake will find it. For what profit is it to a man if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul? Or what will a man give in exchange for his soul? For the Son of Man will come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then he will reward each according to his works. And surely I say to you, there are some standing here who will not taste death till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. Alright, that was the end of that. Now I'm going to play on the handpan a little bit. Oops, sorry, I almost spilled. I gotta get a desk, I really do. Look, I have to get a desk, to be honest. Here's my handpan. I have not played in a long time. I'm gonna go get some little mallets really quick. Where are my mallets? These are not the mallets I'm looking for. Dang it. I can't find my mallets. Oh, there they are. They're on the other side, bro. Hold on. Alright. Here's my handpan. Now I got my mallets. I'm gonna make another Q&A here. Alright. Ask me I did not mean to do that. Don't forget to also ask me questions if you have any. What's that? Alright. Well, for those who don't know, I took a break for about a week of streaming and decided to stick with making YouTube videos and all that. But don't worry, I'll make more. I'll make more and all that. Hopefully, one day I won't have to take a break from making videos or shorts because I want to keep, spreading the word type stuff. Oh wow. And that's in September. That's insane. Well, I guess it's where you live and all that stuff. Right now it's cold. Right now it is. Right, wait. Yeah, right now it's 60 degrees where I live right now. Man, I am actually excited for winter. Here's the reason. Because I only used, for the first time last year, I got to control those big snow blowers that you sometimes see, the gas ones, the big gas ones. Those are my favorite. guys, I'm gonna end the stream here. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you guys in the next stream, maybe tomorrow. I'm thinking of doing this thing where I would stream on Saturday and Sunday. Those are the only 2 days I can stream. Because Monday and Friday I'm busy because of course school. But, after school I'll make videos because they're quicker than a live stream sometimes. And so, yeah, you too, bro. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.